People can watch the same speech, the same interview, the same evidence, and still leave with completely different opinions. One person sees Donald Trump as dangerous, another sees him as the only honest man in politics. One person hears lies, another hears strength. And maybe the strangest part is this: the more Trump gets attacked, the more loyal many of his supporters become. Why? Why do millions of people continue to support someone even after scandals, court cases, controversial statements, and nonstop media criticism? Is it ignorance, brainwashing, or is something much deeper happening inside the human mind? Because this story is not only about Trump, it is about identity, belonging, respect, fear, and the psychology of feeling forgotten. Today, we are going to explore the real reason why Trump supporters stay loyal and why most people completely misunderstand them. Most people think political arguments are about facts. They think if you show enough evidence, enough statistics, enough proof, people will change their minds. But psychology says something very different. Human beings are emotional first, logical second, and politics is often emotional identity disguised as logic. For many Trump supporters, supporting Trump is not simply supporting a politician. It feels like defending their world, their culture, their values, their place in society. And once politics becomes connected to identity, facts become much less powerful. Because when someone attacks your political beliefs, your brain can feel like your entire identity is under attack. That is why debates online become so emotional. People are not only defending opinions, they are defending themselves. This is one of the biggest mistakes political commentators make. They assume Trump supporters only care about policies. But many supporters care more about what Trump represents emotionally: strength, resistance, defiance. To them, Trump is not polished. He is not perfect, but he feels real. And in modern politics, feeling real is often more important than sounding correct. Now here is where things become deeper. Many Trump supporters are not rich elites. Many are ordinary people living in small towns, rural areas, or working class communities. And for years, many of them have felt invisible. Factories closed, communities changed, traditional jobs disappeared. Meanwhile, the culture around them also changed very quickly. The world started celebrating different lifestyles, different identities, and different values. For some people, this progress felt exciting, but for others, it felt like the world they knew was disappearing. And when people feel left behind culturally, they begin searching for someone who speaks directly to their frustration. Trump understood this better than most politicians. He did not speak like a normal politician. He spoke with anger, confidence, emotion. He spoke like someone fighting against the system. And even when his statements were controversial, many supporters heard something deeper underneath. They heard, "I see your frustration." That emotional connection is extremely powerful, because many people do not vote for the person they think is smartest. They vote for the person who understands their pain. And this is why criticism from elites sometimes makes Trump even stronger. Because when media companies, celebrities, professors, or political experts constantly insult Trump supporters, many supporters feel personally insulted too. They feel judged, not debated, judged. And once someone feels morally attacked, persuasion becomes almost impossible. This leads to one of the most important psychological ideas in politics. People do not process information neutrally. We process information emotionally, especially when identity is involved. If a person already believes Trump is protecting their values, then attacks against Trump can feel suspicious immediately. Their brain starts asking, why is everyone trying so hard to destroy this man? And sometimes, the harder institutions attack him, the more loyal supporters become. Because loyalty grows under pressure. This happens in sports teams, religions, communities, and political movements too. Many critics believe Trump supporters are simply ignoring facts, but psychology shows something more complicated. Human beings naturally protect beliefs connected to belonging. Because belonging is one of the deepest human needs. Nobody wants to feel rejected by their group. And once politics becomes tribal, changing opinions becomes emotionally painful. This is why two intelligent people can look at the exact same event and see completely different realities. Not because one side is stupid, but because human beings interpret reality through emotion, identity, fear, and personal experience. Many people think America is divided by race or by political party, but the deeper divide may actually be cultural. There are people who feel comfortable in the modern global world, big cities, universities, technology, fast cultural change, and then there are people who feel connected to tradition, local communities, religion, and stability. Neither side fully understands the other. One side sees progress, the other sees loss. One side sees inclusion, the other sees replacement. And because both sides are emotionally attached to their worldview, they often talk past each other completely. This is why political debates today feel impossible. People are speaking different psychological languages. For example, many progressive voters focus heavily on fairness and equality, but many conservative voters focus more on loyalty, order, safety, and tradition. So when politicians only speak about fairness, they may completely fail to emotionally connect with voters who prioritize stability and belonging. Trump understands emotional language extremely well. He talks about strength, borders, control, national pride. Even people who dislike his personality may still emotionally connect with those messages. Because deep inside, many people want to feel that their country, community, and identity still matter. And whether someone agrees with Trump or not, ignoring those emotions only makes the divide worse. One of the biggest mistakes online is reducing millions of people into simple stereotypes. Some people say all Trump supporters are racist, others say all liberals hate America. Both ideas are lazy. Reality is more complicated. Human beings are complicated. Some Trump supporters care mostly about the economy. Some care about immigration. Some distrust institutions. Some simply feel disconnected from modern culture. And yes, some people absolutely hold extreme beliefs. But reducing tens of millions of people into one label only creates more division. Because when people feel misunderstood, they stop listening completely. Respect does not mean agreement. You can disagree with someone politically while still understanding their emotions and fears. And honestly, this matters far beyond Trump. Because the same psychological patterns exist everywhere, in every country, every ideology, every movement. People want dignity. People want belonging. People want meaning. And when society fails to provide those feelings, strong emotional leaders become extremely attractive, especially during uncertain times. At the end of the day, this story is not really about Donald Trump. It is about modern society. It is about what happens when millions of people feel ignored, disrespected, or culturally invisible. Politics then stops being rational. It becomes emotional survival. And until people understand that, they will continue misunderstanding why movements like MAGA become so powerful. Because people do not only vote with logic, they vote with identity, fear, hope, pride, belonging. And maybe the biggest lesson here is this: if you truly want to understand politics, you first need to understand human psychology. Not just statistics, not just headlines, but emotion. Because emotion shapes reality far more than most people realize. And in today's world, the people who understand emotion often become the most powerful voices of all. So the next time you see two people looking at the same event, but seeing completely different truths, remember this: they may not only be disagreeing politically, they may be living in two completely different emotional worlds. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more psychology and political analysis videos like this.